Hi, this is Tal, and one of the things that I'm wanting to talk about today, I guess you could say the subject is, it sounds rather unpleasant, but it's the idea of the physical death of the body and the spirit, um, which is eternal, and we already know this. Um, so we're going to talk about one of the things that was very much impressed upon me in the beginning was the idea of I when I first met God, of course I want to go with you. Why can't you take me with you? Why do I have to stay in this body? Why do I have to stay here? Why am I why do I seem to be stuck? Am I being punished? All these sort of questions. And each one had its own answer, and the answers are not solidified. I'm still answering all of those questions and working it out, apparently. As far as the possibility of being rescued and taken out of this earth life, that would involve I would not be able to lug around this body, obviously, and I do believe that they are quite capable of doing a spirit transfer into a different body, and it's from what I understand, it's not a simple thing to go through. It's rather traumatic, and it's very strange, and it's essentially a death, um, and you just have to be accepting that this physical vessel is not going to live forever. Would I want to lug this thing around with its appetites and constant needs and everything? I don't think so. It wouldn't really make sense long term as an advanced being that has understanding fully of the spirit realm and of physical matter, for that matter. So it would become necessary to leave the body. However, I'm not advocating suicide in any way, shape, or form, and I want to be very clear about this. This is a very sacred gift that we've been given. It's a it's a very expensive school that we're in, if you wish to look at it in that manner. Um, Not everybody can handle this sort of thing, and those that find themselves here oftentimes, or they don't, well, because we don't remember, and then we get kind of lost in things, and our culture and everything, it's all about finding the spirit within again. So you can't really blame people. Everybody's at children at different levels of understanding, myself and everybody included, and back to the death of the body again. This is something that is necessary in order to leave this environment. If you want to imagine a space vehicle that transports, and I believe there are absolutely that can take a human body, which is very dense and uh, difficult to. There's so many things that the pressure and G forces, whatever. These things would kill us. And I do believe that they do experience, depending on the type of vehicle, some of these things. In fact, many of them, um, these symptoms. But you would have to have some very, very special accommodations. I was remote viewing one time, and I saw a vehicle that was. I was being shown a vehicle, and in the beginning you walk through the hull, and there's these almost like tanks on the side, and those are for human beings, and this is what I was shown. These are for people. They go in here, and it's like they're protected from somehow from the pressures of some different types of processes. I think when they go in and out of time, that it's very difficult. My God, my dog just farted. Okay. Anyway, um, so yeah, the pressures of space and farting dogs. Don't bring them into space with you. Anyway, let's leave the physical bodies on the side. Good God. Excuse me. So, sorry, I'm lazy to try and tape all of that again. I just had to move my fan. I am gonna go into channeling with Ra'a, and then I want to. I he was asleep for a while, which is beautiful, and he's back with us again, and so I really am looking forward to doing this. I hadn't had the time because of my job and all this. I'm a very strange person, but I'm actually a regular person that goes to work and has to deal with the same problems as everyone else. It's just like fighting dogs. So, anyway, so I would like to know what does Ra'a think about the process of what it's like to physically die. From what I understand with his story, he was rescued from Earth in a human body and taken in a vehicle, and this was when he was here incarnated as a child. He lived to 11 years, and um, very difficult, very difficult, sad life. Um, this was in the 1600s, and he lived in India, and he was rescued by his mother, and basically her ship, not necessarily her, from another incarnation, though, and they were able to restore his memory and re-download it, and he was taken in this physical container body of a human boy to basically a place where the governing body that he eventually went to work for, which is an Orion-based gray governing body, and at that point was shown. They were able to preserve him somehow through. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but like a shell, but it wouldn't last forever. You wouldn't want to walk around, you know, if you don't have to wear an oxygen mask and a spacesuit, you tend to not want to. Those things are not very comfortable, from what I understand. Um, so anyway, he was given given a soul transfer at some point and went into this body that he's now in, which is over 450 years old, and this is a gray reptile hybrid body, and he lives on Earth, but he travels extensively. Um, I want to anyway. That's a long, bloody story, but I want to find out what what this experience was like for him, because I suppose that at one point or another we all go through this. Of course, we went through to come into this body. I often used to think about it when my children were small, how terrifying it must be to be born. It just must absolutely be terrifying. All the bright light and sound and everything that it's overwhelming, I would imagine, especially if a person is born in a hospital situation. That's a very strange environment, but it's just one of those things. So, yeah, I'm going to get my fancy hat self into my position here, and I'm going to allow Ra to speak to me. But I'm waiting for a light signal. I'm feeling very close presence. There. Thank you. I'm speaking now. The questions that you want to find out about, the answers to, regarding death and regarding the soul transfer of bodies. You can take a body from one place and you can take a body to another place, but eventually this is limited by how far of an expansion from the home environment of this body. So the strings that are the spirits holding together are going to try to pull this body back and say it belongs here. For the spirit to let go, a decision has to be made. The spirit has to make the decision themselves to let go of the body. This is a very difficult process. the spirit tends to want to be pulled back there. It's almost like a magnetic force pulling you. And it is a magnetic force, in fact, if it's easier to understand in that manner, that wants to pull you back into the body. But the spirit can make a decision. We have assistance when you do this. Other people are helping you. It's like being born. It's the same concept. You are essentially being born as a spirit into this body. Birth is not an event, it's a process. There are many other things that I would like to talk to you about regarding the need to leave the body behind at times. When you travel, when you astrally travel, this is able, and this is the identical process, is what I'm saying, when you must leave the body and enter into another body, when it's time. Or if you're not going to enter into a body and just remain as a traveling spirit, it's a decision. We will help you. You will always have help, and you're never alone. Oh, I'm back, and it's always a strange transition. Coming back is going out. Going out seems to be easier. Coming back is like it's sometimes it's very slow, and I don't want to release the beautiful spirit. I feel like as an entity, I am supposed to be one being with Ra, actually, and that we were actually one being at a time. But that's another subject matter, and I'm just going to let this one go at this. This is very interesting. I need to revisit what he was saying about strings and magnetism and the vehicle being pulled towards the home origin. That actually makes a lot of sense. One of the things we were talking about at one point during a telepathic conversation was the idea that that you can communicate through these, like for example, a hybrid can communicate with two different worlds, and because we have this in our DNA. This is not something I've ever. I'm not someone who reads about this sort of thing. I should probably, and I definitely need to educate myself a little bit more so I don't end up reinventing the wheel 1,000 times. But anyway, so this is our message for today. Something to think about. When it's time to leave the body, the spirit makes a decision. Thank you for listening.